What's up, dude?
Hey Zach,
How you doing, man?
doing good, Zach. How are you?
Yeah, good, dude. Lovely to meet you.
Hey, how are you?
Doing well, Josh. How are you today?
Yeah, not too bad, thank you. Not too bad at all.
Is there anybody else joining us today?
No, I think it's just going to be us.
Oh, fantastic.
Good. No, all good here. Just finished a day of teaching and got back, had some food, and I'm here. So yeah,
Already? You've had food already, mate. It's 6 o'clock. Wow, smashed it.
that's my breakfast.
So, guys, on September 19th, you released your new single, Show. Could you like to tell me a bit on the songwriting and the work behind this new single?
Yeah, absolutely. We recorded it at the same time as our previous song, Bite. So we did them both over a weekend, a long weekend in Wales, um, at a family relative or friend.
Relative.
Relative at their house in Wales whilst they weren't there, which was really nice of them to let us use that space. And we ate food, we turned the living room into a studio, and we watched a bunch of Transformers movies. And what came out of that was Bite and Choke. But it's there was a lot of stuff. I don't know if people can tell from listening to it or not, but there's a lot of stuff that was new for us in these songs. And yeah, I mean, I think they're a natural progression of where we were headed. I think we've gotten kind of simultaneously heavier and poppier at the same time.
Mm.
And that's, I think, where we were sort of heading towards anyway. And, I think these songs did a great job of continuing that. Um, lyrically, I wouldn't want to necessarily speak too much about the song lyrically without Ellen here. I know she has written a little press quote about like what the kind of vocals are about and what the lyrics are about. But I wouldn't want to necessarily go into that without her because I'd probably ruin ruin some very deep meanings that she's got in it. But yeah, honestly, it was the product of a really fun weekend and a really nice natural progression of I think where we're heading.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. And are you guys planning to come up with an official music video for these singles?
At the moment, we've got no plans for it. I think our or my I was going to say our, but I think Zach can say if he's got a different opinion. My opinion at the moment is that the next video we do needs to be really, really cool. And I don't want to make a video just for the sake of it at the moment. I think if we have a really cool idea, um, then we should do it. But otherwise, I think we'll just end up making the same video we've made for other songs. So I'd like to wait until we've got a really cool concept and maybe a really cool videographer on board to do it. Not saying it's not going to happen. Like, if someone comes up with an idea tomorrow, maybe we'll do one for Choke and get it out after the fact. But at the moment, we've got no plans. I've got a really good idea for a video for a song we haven't even recorded yet. So maybe like
I
that'll.
don't even know this.
No, you don't. I came up with it yesterday in the shower.
Cool. Okay. Yeah. No. I think I'm with Josh there. Also, as well, the unfortunate but very real reality of being in a band is that videos cost a lot of money, and
True.
and and oftentimes we have to prioritize finances into the really not glamorous but really important parts of being in a band. So those are often the priorities that fall into it. But then again, as Josh said, if there's a really cool idea, which I want to hear more about this idea, then yeah, I'm open for it. The last time I did a music video, well, we did a music video. It ended with me punching my drums for about 10 minutes straight and kicking my drums over and throwing them across the room, all to have the grand total of about a third of a second of it in the music video. And I was black and blue at my forearms
I
from
remember that.
punching the drums. And yeah, so suffer for your art and all that.
I remember that.
Cool, cool, cool. And your last EP, Ambivalent, came up in 2023. And are you guys planning to get back again to the studio with writing a full-length album or probably an EP in the near future?
Yeah, so we decided that we wanted, because for, so like I said, with Bite and Choke, we recorded those together, and for those two we did a completely different style of writing, completely different style of recording, and new producer, new master. Like, we tried a lot of new stuff, and so what we wanted to do was, with those two songs, make sure that all of this new stuff works. And so we kind of limited ourselves to a couple of songs. Let's try out this new stuff we want to try. So we've been working really heavily with John Poltergeist. He is Poltergeist Audio, I think, on Instagram. He he's been helping us with the songwriting, with post production and stuff like that as well, and really helped us kind of level up those songs. So that went really well. We've also worked with Nathan Smart for the first time as the producer, and he kind of helped us level up as well. And then we went to Jens. Is it Jens or Jens? Zach? I think it's
I'm
Jens.
not sure. I think
It's
Jens.
Swedish. Jens Bogren. Anyway, absolute like top of the creme de la creme for like
Who
mastering.
hasn't he mastered?
I know,
Like
yeah.
basically that
So
kind of
we went to him for mastering, and ultimately, I think we're all really, really happy with what came out. So now, naturally, the next step is um, what are we doing next, I guess. And I think we haven't necessarily decided what we're going to do in terms of the length of the project. I just know that we've been writing a load of songs. So um, we've got songs. There will be songs at some point, whether they are more singles or whether they form an EP or anything like that. I think that's yet to be decided. I would say we're probably not yet going to be doing anything like a full length album.
thing.
I think we'll probably wait until someone's paying us a lot of money to do that.
Gotcha, gotcha. And guys, are you currently touring or are there any big plans on touring for this year?
So this year's been a funny one for us. I think I'll be honest to say. I think we've had two or three tours given to us and then taken away, which is such the way of the business. It's fine. It's going to be like that for years, I imagine. But it's yeah, we've had a lot of kind of things get set up and then cancelled or taken away. We're headlining a Rock Against Cancer event in Glastonbury in October, which is going to be really cool. We've got what else are we doing? Something else. Oh, a weekender that we're doing with Glass Bridges in November.
November.
Like a co-headline little run that's around kind of south and southeast, and then a couple of other things that I don't think have been announced yet. So we've actually just been offered a show today. I won't say too much about it because if it gets cancelled, it'll be embarrassing again. But it's in Manchester and it's around the early November. So if if I don't know when this comes out, but if anyone's if it's nearing that time and you're in the area, then take a look at our socials. I'm sure we'll have announced it by then if it's happening.
Fantastic, fantastic. And are there any plans for singles this year that can be expected?
I don't think we'll have another one out this year. I think Bite and Choke are all we're going to be having out for now. Like I said, we've got a few in the tank, so so we're probably going to be looking at kind of first early next year to get some more out, depending on what we do with them. If we do choose to do a bit of a larger project like an EP or something, we might delay that a bit and get it all together and all that sort of stuff. But ultimately, it depends on A, how fast we can get them recorded properly, and B, what we choose to do with the rest of them.
Fantastic, fantastic. And Kite was formed back in 2018, and since 2020, a lot of singles been coming out and an EP out. So, how do you guys feel about the road that you have traveled so far?
Oh, go on, Zach.
Oh, it's such a good question, and I'm
Yeah.
just not going to answer it as beautifully. Uh, I think, well, I can't speak for everyone else, but this is the longest open in the band, which is superb, and I think it's been not only a fantastic journey musically, I think also in terms of sort of personally as well, it's been fantastic to be able to tour with some of my best mates and to have that many great experiences. Um, I really love. I was actually doing it the other day. I like looking back at some of the old videos, old music videos, old footage, behind the scenes B-roll stuff, just to see how things have progressed and most importantly, how my drum kit has gotten bigger. That's normally what happens. All the other guys have decreased, become really efficient, really great. As you can tell, it's gotten much bigger.
He's
But
got a
yeah, no,
problem.
yes. But yeah, and that's been really exciting to see. And although I don't want to lean on nostalgia too much, it's been really nice to see how we've been trying to mold our sounds, trying to move things forward, and yeah, and I'm trying. Oh God, that's such a great question. I'm really rubbish at answering
It's a
stuff, but
really
that's
nice
that.
question, isn't it? It's a great one. I think the like the road we've traveled, I guess you could say, was really difficult at times. I think all of us, we met at university. I think all of us, I would speak, maybe I don't want to speak for the others, but kind of felt like once we left uni, it was just going to happen. Um, and we were like, we're gonna leave, we're gonna start touring loads, and we're gonna kind of blow up. And I think we immediately got knocked down quite a few pegs with COVID, which happened like in our third year of uni was 2020. So we immediately couldn't do anything for that year, really. I mean, we learned to do some stuff online, kind of like this. And, we managed to get a couple of songs done over those kind of 2 years. But then, it kind of felt like we had to build up all of our momentum all over again in 2022 and three. And then 2024 was kind of the biggest year of we've had in terms of shows, and that felt really cool. And then we took quite a long break from doing as much live stuff whilst we've been recording and writing. And I don't know, I think it's just going so fast is my only kind of note. Looking back, and when you said like 2018, my brain started worrying like, oh my god, that's such a long time ago. But it is, it's going really quickly, and I'm enjoying it. But I hope we can do it for a while more. I've got a picture here of Zach will have it somewhere in his office too. But it's of us literally the day we decided to be in a band.
Yeah.
Oh, you're not going to be able to see that very well, but that's literally from the day we decided to do it, because we played at an event together, and that is from 2018, like you say. So it's kind of crazy to actually take a second and look at it and look how young we look. I was much skinnier then, less. My beard was worse though. I'll take that. But yeah, no,
I was a mere 16 stone then.
that's crazy. I'm not far off that now. But yeah, no, it's been really cool, and it's actually a nice question, that, because it's nice to take a second to think about it. I appreciate that.
Also, okay, it's awesome. And I know there has been a lot of great moments that has happened over the years, but are there something special to share with me today?
Something special, like a real special moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got
I,
a couple. You got one?
I can think of two. One that was, if I may, the two that I can think of was was the story of how far someone traveled to come and see us. I think that was a big thing from, like, because to me it's very much like a, wow, you traveled that far and to put on a show, to make sure that we put on a good enough show for that. I think a gentleman traveled 2.5, 3 hours to come and see us. I think it was up in Manchester, came to come and see us, which was just mind blowing. And I remember asking him after the show, he was like, oh, are you, I just assumed, is he seeing family and stuff? He's like, no, I'm driving back tonight. So he made like a 6 hour round journey to come and see us, which was brilliant. The other one, which was very selfish of me, was the day that I got recognized by a complete stranger. I was getting fuel in a petrol station, and I was walking over to the kiosk, and I just heard Kite Thief, like that. And I went, what? And I walked around, and he was like, are you in Kite Thief? And I went, yeah, I am. And shook his hand and said hello. And then, but I'd never seen him before. And I was a bit like, did that just happen? Then I immediately messaged the guys, and I was like, oh my God, it happened in the wild. It was great. So
Yeah,
those were two moments that stuck out. And yeah, it was two very nice moments.
that is cool. I think for me, I'll go with a couple of older ones. Playing 2000 Trees for the first time was really cool. We were on really early in the morning. We thought it was going to be empty, and we kind of came out on stage and we had like a packed tent, and that was like, yeah, that was kind of I had to take a kind of moment there to get back into it after seeing that. And then our shortly after that, I think early last year, we did our first proper like headline tour, where we were headlining every show, and every day I was nervous. I was really nervous about how many people were going to turn up, because the pressure as a headliner, the pressure's on you. Um, and every show like massively surprised us. And that was just like a weird kind of moment for me. It was like this so special to see that people were there for the Kite Thief show. You know, they weren't like they weren't seeing us as a benefit before seeing their other band. You know, we played shows in London and Bristol that were nearly sold out. In fact, Bristol was sold out. And that was just like, yeah, huge moment, I think. And then a more recent one, both of the last singles have been played on Radio 1, which is a huge moment for us, I think. That's going to be a real special moment. I happened to be awake. So the rock show is obviously quite early in the morning. That's the way this genre is. I happened to be awake at 2 a.m. or whatever it was when Bike got played on the radio, and so I had it on, and just, yeah, hearing the like Radio 1 intro and then our song playing was really special for me.
Wonderful. And as a band, what would be the biggest dream?
Do you know, we had this conversation recently. We were playing a show in Sheffield and we were eating pizza outside afterwards. And I think, I can't remember who started the conversation, but we sort of said, you know, as a group, we've never chatted. Like, what is your dream for this? Like, what's the kind of goal with this band? Like, what do you want to do? And we all had different answers, which is amazing. I think for me, it was travel. So I would love to just like use the band as a way to see areas of the world that I wouldn't see otherwise. We've already done that in the UK. Like, I feel like I've seen all these cities that I would never have a reason to go to. And I just really enjoy that. And there's no better way than just, you know, traveling with your mates and playing music. I think that's just so much fun. So that's kind of my dream, is to kind of go and tour Asia, the US, Europe, like all these places whilst playing music. But I think the other guys have probably got different sort of goals in mind. What about you, Zach?
Um, I think it was actually you that started that conversation in Sheffield. I think
Was
you
it?
might have raised that, yeah. Because and I think okay, but like, and it's interesting because I think we're all the five of us in the band are such musos, and it's just it's the it's the thing that we do, and we don't do anything else. So it's like you know, that it's what we never had to think about it, or never had to talk about it.
Mm.
Um, for me, it's I get you know, almost as much enjoyment playing at a small club as I do in, you know, bigger festivals. I enjoy trying to push the boat out musically live, and trying out new ideas live, and normally just completely stacking it and and then recovering. So there's like the musical endeavor, but also as well the for it to be a part of financial income. It sounds really dull, but it's again, to have it as be part of my career. I'm very lucky that I get to play music and teach music for a career, and to have it be a part of it from a financial standpoint is would be really cool. And I've always said, and I say this to my students and I say this to everyone, that the moment that I stop performing, that's the day that I stop teaching, because for me, I need to still be performing, still be present in the industry, for me, for my information to be valid, because the industry moves so quickly. So those would be the two things: to push myself musically, and for it to be a part of my career.
Nice.
And speaking of the songwriting process of Kite, do you guys focus on certain topics, or is it just random songs that comes to your mind and that you just write about?
That's a good question. I think so. Ellen does like 98% of the lyric writing. Sometimes we'll fill in just to say, oh, like, you know, maybe try this line instead. Or I think there has been a couple of songs like, so you mentioned earlier the EP Ambivalent. The title song on that one, so Ambivalent itself, was actually I remember her sort of being like, I don't know what to write about, and I just said, well, write about how much it sucks to be in your 20s in the UK right now. And so that's kind of what she went off with that one. And that, you know, I think she's got a great ability to write kind of about anything. She just needs a bit of a spark, and you know, often that will be kind of well, anything really, relationships, friendships, experiences. I think there's no one necessary topic, but you can guarantee that most songs will have some kind of relation to an experience of one of us, or mainly Ellen in those so far. But who knows? You know, I know some bands go on and make like concept albums or whatever. Is it a concept album? Is that the name of them?
Yeah,
Is that
like a continuous story.
yeah,
Like,
like where they'll
yeah.
pick, you know, maybe create a character and write all the songs from that character's perspective or whatever. But it's yeah, that's kind of where ours have come from so far.
I'm always blown away by Ellen's lyric writing and songwriting ability because every song's different in terms of how we, you know, sometimes we've approached a song via a riff or a synth uh part or something like that. So it can vary, but I would say majority of the time it starts off with an instrumental. It starts off with a form of instrumental, and then the lyrics go on the top, and vocal melodies goes on top. And whenever we get, you know, whenever we'll have a demo made that's instrumental, no, you know, no vocals on it, I'm always like, oh man, this is great. And then as soon as Ellen puts vocals on it, I'm like, this is just greater. It's just so much. It suddenly becomes alive, and it also makes my job as a drummer like so much easier. Like I've said to people before that Ellen practically writes my drum parts because so much of what I do is informed by her. So it's really important for me to know the narrative of the lyrics. So yeah, it's a pleasure to be sort of supporting those. Hello, dog.
Yeah, sorry, I've been trying to come in for a while.
Interesting, interesting. And do you guys make music on a traditional way, or do you do a lot of musical experimentation when it comes to songwriting and composing?
Yeah, wow, this is the topic of the century. So we used to kind of write all of our songs in the room together. Then we kind of had a couple songs where some stuff got added afterwards, some post-production synth stuff, and that happened right around COVID, which so we kind of learned then to start writing songs virtually. And what kind of happened as the pandemic happened is that we all sort of left Bristol, or most of us left Bristol, where we kind of met. And that has continued to these days. So these days I'm in London, Zach is in Brackley, Northamptonshire way. Our bassist Henry's down in Glastonbury. Max is in Wales now. It's kind of like we're all over the place. But because of what happened in COVID, we've kind of learned to do stuff virtually. So there's a software a bit like Zoom, where you can have meetings and share your screen, and then you can also share audio straight from a digital workstation like Logic. And that's kind of how we do most of it these days. So Max is our kind of main producing talent in the band, and when it comes to recording demos. Yeah, and so he'll kind of host the meetings, and then we all just input that way. And then obviously, you know, from time to time we'll meet up as well. And a couple of times we've like I said, we've gone away to places. That was nice. And I mean, when it comes to experimentation, yeah, we try and mix things up a little bit. And what's been really interesting is working with someone else. So, like I said earlier, I've been working with John from Poltergeist. It's been really interesting for us to learn how to work with someone else, and you know, we'll spend ages writing this song and think that's amazing, that's done. Give it to him, he'll take it apart completely and then rejig it around and add some stuff, and then we'll be like, right, that's amazing. So we'll take that back, change it again, send it back. And, you know, that is we kind of end up with experimentation that way, in like a more modern way than, you know, I always think of that bit in Bohemian Rhapsody, the film, when they're like, they've got like a speaker tied to the ceiling and they're throwing it around and then following it with a mic and stuff. And, you know, that sort of stuff doesn't happen with us, but we do it in a more modern sort of iterative way. I'd say it's probably the, you know, try thing. Like we'll always try anything once, right, Zach, when it comes to songwriting?
Yeah, yeah, totally. Yeah, try it, and because well, you just never know. I think just speaking for myself, like in terms of the songwriting, I would love to be getting in a room and working on stuff, but again, it's that cruel reality of that means time and money, and unfortunately, we don't have like a permanent headquarters that we can go to, because it's so many hours of travel for everyone, as well as paying for use of space. So I would love to go and jam through songs and do it in person and flesh out ideas in person, but the reality is that this is we can get very similar results, but also as well, utilizing modern technology, you're going to be getting different results, especially with using lots of sort of electronic drum sounds and samples and all kinds of stuff. So stuff that I wouldn't have gone, the route that I probably wouldn't have gone down previously. So yeah, basically just working out how I can annoy the band further with weird noises.
Fantastic, fantastic. And finally, any message that you have for the fans around the world?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely people around the world, which is really interesting. We've with these new releases been watching where people have been listening, and it's been really surprising to see people all over the place. So I guess, yeah, anyone who's watching this who has discovered us recently or been listening to the last 8 years, as we've said, which is so long.
Uh,
Yeah, I know. I guess a cliche, but it's thank you. These days there is absolutely like option paralysis when it comes to music. There's so many options for people to listen to, and for people to invest their own time listening to the stuff that we've made is just a huge thank you. And then for those who even come out and see us, spend money to actually see us do it is just even crazier. So, thank you. We aren't the best at staying relevant on socials. We aren't the best at pumping out music, but we when we do, there are people there who watch it and let us know that they enjoy it. So we just appreciate that massively. And it really inspires us to carry on.
Beautiful, beautiful. And Josh and Zach, I want to thank you both so much for giving me today this wonderful opportunity to have you on this show. And thank you for amazing music that you have been giving to us, the rock metal fraternity around the world. Thanks for all the awesomeness that you guys are spreading around the world. And I wish you all the best. And I'm really hoping to see you guys on the road real soon.
nice one.
Awesome. Thanks
Thank
so
you very much,
much.
mate.
We really enjoyed it. It's been nice to
Take
meet
care.
you. And
A
yeah, I'm
pleasure.
sure we'll chat again.
Yeah.
Nice one.
So take care and have a great evening. Bye bye.
You too.
Take care, mate.
Bye, Keith. Bye.